I just realized I have a Costa coffee. What is up with this camera? Yo! I have got a Costa coffee, cafe latte, beverage in a can. And they're not paying me anything to say that. I had to pay those motherfuckers to get a can of that. All right, so Frank Monday once again live for the static drive jive, because we are no longer driving, but we are still in the car, and we are still live on this Saturday, May 8th, 2021. We have got the fantastic hair day going on. We're at 10 till the hour, 10 to 7. I need to go ahead and get in there in 10 minutes. A little before. I'm just gonna make this a $5. Don't need to get drawn in too long in a deep conversation. Yeah, so each time, as Rudolf Steiner claims, that each time you lose a tooth, that you get additional subtle spiritual powers, so you might not notice them, but pay attention to that. And I think it's probably appropriate to hang on to the teeth like an old, you know, Baba Yaga, the old witch in the hut, the winter witch. And I don't know, put them on a string or put them on a rattle or something. And then when some youngin's giving you shit, you shake the teeth rattle. You know, get yourself a turtle shell and put the teeth in it. I save all of my teeth and put them on the altar. Kids' baby teeth. And it's a common practice that you make a bracelet out of the kids' baby teeth and stuff like that. And that's all chaos paganism, like Charles was saying. Yeah, so get yourself a small turtle shell and make a turtle shell rattle and put your teeth in there one by one as they fall out. Because it's going to happen. Some people die with a full mouth of teeth. That means they never get any spirituality. All right, so the next topic's kind of a big one. It's death and the dead. So I've been listening to a lot of Rudolf Steiner and his interpretation, what he's got to say. Of course, if you're at all opposed to esoteric Christianity and Rosicrucianism and the great mystery of that tradition, then it may strike you, it may grind on you a little bit, which I'm not opposed to anyone. I'm only opposed to tyranny, right? So if they've got an interpretation that I feel like works, yeah, that's good. I'm happy to hear that. If I've got an interpretation that I feel like it works, good morning, Sandra Sue, how are you? I hope you're doing well out in Happy Land. So it seems that my father kept all of his teeth until he passed on. I've only had my wisdom teeth removed. I still have all of my non-wisdom teeth. But one is not in great shape. And so it needs to be dealt with. One out of 24 ain't bad though. It is really windy today. Super windy. Good stuff. So, what he says about death is this, is that we should live as if those people that we love or whatever that have passed on, we should live as if they are still alive. We should continue to honor their memory, and we should think about them in our heart and in our day-to-day lives, that they are still alive, and still give energy to the recognition of their lives and their livingness. I mean, not run around like superstitious and so on and so forth, like, oh, there's a ghost over my shoulder or whatever, but you should consider inwardly that they are living. And I thought about this recently, and I thought, wow, I haven't really necessarily been doing that. And so this morning I got up and I prayed, and I opened the window, and I thought about that, and I could feel the energy of each person that I thought about. So I thought about my brother, of course, because he's the most recently deceased. And then I thought about my father, and my mother's mother, great grandmother, and her, and then a couple of her kids that had passed away, and her first kid, Johnny, and all these people. And I thought about them, and I could perceive their livingness. And I thought that if I was really interested in scrying and in spiritually connecting with them, that I could actually track down their reincarnations like the Buddhists do in finding their head Buddha. And that in their new life, they might actually have memory of their past life and their connection to our family. And I thought about that, and I thought, well, wow, that's fascinating. Some of them won't come back right away. Typically, they say you'll stay gone 2 to 3 times the amount of, and this is if you put any credit to reincarnation, which if you're into spiritual science, then the amount of data supports the idea. Anyway, so that's some ideas from Steiner, Rudolf Steiner, and if that concerns you, or you find interest in it, or you find life in it, then use it, because that's the great thing about being of the Taoist persuasion and a Hermetic scientist, is that those things which ring as true to you are true to you. And if you believe, I mean, don't get too far into belief, too deep in the rabbit hole of belief, but if you believe it to be true, then it is true, at least for you, because the mind will gather the data to support your thesis. And that's all I got, because it's 7 o'clock and I need to do something with my hair, brush my teeth, wash my face, have breakfast, check the dorm room, chase off the ghosts that shouldn't be there, because I'm using that room and I don't want any astral dredges hanging around trying to make love to me while I'm sleeping. That shit ain't cute. Don't do that. Yeah, so more on this topic later, because it's one, I mean, I said death and I got 5 minutes to talk about it, but it's one that requires it's not the word I'm looking for, because it doesn't require, you don't have to do anything, you know what I mean? But it wants for more research and more discussion. So we will call this one complete. Chris Walken hair. Yeah, I got the Chris Walken hair going on. He might be a relative of mine. He looks a little bit like a Jew if you look real close, but he always plays like an Italian gangster or something, and seems like one time he played the devil, or at least a demon. I liked him as an actor. I know you did too. He was pretty good. But yeah, he did a little SNL dance number when he's like, he's got to be 70 or better, and he could still dance. So me and him are very similar. I think we might be born in the same Chinese zodiac sign. Anyway, that's going to be it for this morning. I'll check in with y'all again later, and I hope y'all good looking, sexy, happy, silly people out in TV land. Keep on sashaying through the Sahara like a salacious serpent, surreptitiously slithering in the grass, writhing and whipping, flicking your tail around like the demonic little creatures that you are. I'm just playing with y'all. So let us pray. Oh Lord above and Lord below, within and without, vast and mighty one, pre-generator of all the gods and goddesses, divine immortals, celestial beings, ancient achieved masters, we beseech thee, we invoke thee, and we send our praise and adoration skyward in both directions. Give us humility and guidance for this day and in all days to come, so that we may adjust the algorithm of even the past, for the history can be changed, at least in the present. We ask all these things in the name of the great horned God and the triumvirate of intelligence, wisdom, and application. Grant us peace, lords and ladies, so that we may accomplish the great work. And that's what it's all about. 33, tip of the hat, a nod and a wink. Hugs and kisses. I'll see y'all soon.